everyone. I've seen a lot of things on my news feed, and I've had some personal messages the last couple weeks and conversations with people um, around the age range of 19 to 25, and it kind of inspired me to say something that I feel is really, really, really important. And if you don't like super personal videos, or if you are easily offended by things, I probably wouldn't watch the rest of this. Um, this is going to be really hard to talk about. Instead of posting a status, I figured this video would be much easier. So here I am, no makeup, awful hair, pajamas. I just want to speak my mind unfiltered on a topic that obviously has been brought up enough in my life for it to be important to me. This whole thing that I'm seeing in the music and art culture, that a lot of my teenage friends and early 20 friends are experiencing, that it kind of romanticizes suicide. Like it's this great and courageous leap that you make to save yourself from pain and injustice. And I get that. I do. I seriously do. And I know some of you guys are rolling your eyes because I'm an old fart and I'm 28 and I have no idea what you guys are going through because my life is so nice and easy. And, man, I just must have like, a golden yellow brick road that I trot to every session on, and life is just roses. But I'm here to tell you that it's not. And honestly, it never was. Granted, it's a whole lot better than I could have ever imagined. Even just going back 3 years ago, back to 2011, 2012. That was a horrible year for me, horrible. But 15 up until 25, wondering what the hell the point of life really was. I'd been through some pretty awful stuff. I put a man in prison for 5 years. And I won't go into specifics about that here, but if anybody ever wants to message me or call me, and, I'll share with you and we can talk about it. Maybe you've experienced something similar. Um, you just gotta trust me, though. Um, I've told some people what I've been through, not just as a teenager and the incident that put the guy in prison, but things that happened again and again to me in my 20s. Things that were really not very nice, and some of those things I did to myself. Um, you know, and you really do reap what you sow sometimes. But I had to overcome it all, and I'll never forget. I was in group therapy when I was about 15, and I was sitting in this room with all these girls who had gone through similar stuff, and a lot of them, a lot of them had experienced it so long ago. They were still in therapy for things that had happened to them that weren't even as bad as what had happened to me, in my opinion. Everything is subjective, of course, but they'd been through it like 5 or 6 years prior, and they were a lot older than me. And I remember sitting there and looking at them and just thinking, I don't want to be you. I don't want to be sitting here in group therapy when I'm 24 years old, because I can't get over this thing that just happened. So I had to teach myself to be strong, and I had to teach myself to move forward and fight. And it wasn't easy. I got made fun of a lot in school. I was bullied. I was treated like garbage. I went through hell, and, again, those are stories that I'm all too ready to share with you guys if you ever want to talk. But the hits kept coming, and my early 20s, they were unbelievably hard. I was homeless for a period of time. I was living out of a storage unit. That was really tough. All I wanted to do was be a photographer or a musician. That was it. That was literally all I wanted. And I wanted photography more than music, but I do love to sing. And, I just I wanted to make a difference with my art. I wanted to do something that I thought would be impactful. I wanted to touch people's lives. I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be cherished. I wanted to be admired. You know, I wanted all these things, and nothing was happening for me. I just had these series of like failed relationships, and people who would treat me bad or take advantage of me, and my heart hurt so much that I many people don't know this, but there was a time in my life where I attempted to kill myself, actually twice. Um, and it took some really special people in my life to step up to the plate and help me and give me the help that I needed. And I never had to go to like another traditional therapy session until much later. And that was one on one. I just needed to talk. I needed to talk it out with a professional. And that was worth it. But you know, even that was short lived. I knew I had to just really overcome things on my own. And I'm here right now, and I'm really happy with where I am right now. Um, I was talking to one of my friends the other day who was asking me if, you know, the reward at the end of all the, you know, the struggling and the pain and the misery was worth it. And I told him what I'm here to tell you. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. It was so worth it. If I could go back in time, seriously, I wouldn't change a thing about what I went through. And I'm not even mad. Like, I'm not even pissed off at these people anymore that hurt me so bad. And, you know, I'm friends with some of them on Facebook. I mean, you know, I've just learned that, you know, forgiveness, it's not, you know, it's not for them. It's for you. You know, because you need to move on with your life. You need to learn and overcome things. And sometimes the only way to do that is to just give forgiveness, no matter how hard it is, and to accept at least a tone of personal responsibility for the things that have happened. Try it. You might like it. Um, you know, everyone's situations are different, but sometimes, you know, that can really help you out. Uh, Going back to my original point, another thing I don't admit at all, I struggled with alcoholism in my early 20s. I I cut myself back when I was like 23. Um, I did a lot of really stupid things that I do not in any way condone or advocate now. Um, but I think about if I had killed myself, the things that I wouldn't be doing now. And you know, if I had taken my life, I would have I would have missed so much more. You know, you hear people say it a lot that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And it's so cliche, but I believe there is a lot of truth in that statement. Um, if I had died back then, if the attempts that I'd made had succeeded, um, I wouldn't be a big sister to my two baby brothers. I wouldn't be a wife to my husband, who's fantastic and wonderful. Um, you know, I wouldn't ever hear my mom laugh or see her smile again. She would be miserable. That would have been awful for her if I wasn't here. I can't even imagine the pain my parents would have gone through. I mean, even my dad, I'm sure, would have been really upset if I'd done that. You know, and we don't even talk. So, you know, that's saying a lot. Um, I wouldn't get to experience the things I do with the company I work for, Bella Baby, where I go to these hospitals and I take photos of these newborns. Some of them are suffering drug withdrawals. Um, some of the parents are drug addicts, and I get to go into these rooms and I get to give these babies love for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you know, I knit blankets for them. And I feel like I can make a difference in someone's life who, you know, I've only met for a couple minutes. And maybe change something for them. Um, I wouldn't I wouldn't wake up every day to at least one message from somebody telling me like an aspiring photographer that I talked to that week, or somebody who's struggling with their business, and mine isn't even where I want it to be completely yet. You know, just thanking me for taking the time to help them, or giving them advice, or you know, checking out their work and giving them constructive criticism, and you know, whatever the case may be. Um, I get messages from people that I hardly know that say that I inspire them. I can't tell you enough how much that means to me. If you had told me 5 years ago that this would be my life, that I would actually be doing what I'm doing right now, that I would actually be achieving my dreams, not without blood and tears and lots of sweat, but that I would actually be doing it, I would have called you a liar. If you had said that I found a decent man who wasn't going to hit me or cheat on me or treat me bad or be a drug addict, I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed that I would have any of the good things that I have in my life right now. There's no way. There's no way. I would have called bullshit every single time, because I honestly believe that I was not deserving of love, respect, life. I didn't believe that I deserved any of that stuff. But I'm here to tell you guys that you do. You do deserve something good. And more than you know. There's people out there who love you. I love you. When I take the time out of my day to talk to some of you guys, when you post like really depressing stuff on Facebook and I hardly know you and I'm just like, hey buddy, I'm here for you, man. What do you want to talk about? I'm not just saying that because I want some honorary good guy badge. I'm saying that because I've been there and I know. And sometimes I know the stuff that I say when I'm like, hey, get off your ass and change it. Stop bitching. Start a revolution. It's not to be cruel. It's because you need that kick in the ass. You need to hear that. I needed to hear it. And I thank God every day for the people who consistently kicked me and made me get out of bed, made me try, made me have, my first 2 art shows. I mean, that was amazing for me. And I was only 23 when I sold those out. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade that for anything. But that was during a time in my life, again, that I was very depressed. I didn't feel like I deserved anything good. And that's life. I'd be lying if I didn't, if I sat here and said, oh yeah, everything is perfect now. That would be a lie. Life is never perfect. But that's the thing, is you got to keep moving and you have to keep growing. You need baptism by fire. Some of the best people are born from war. That's how you get strong. And you have to be afraid because you get going on that fear. And you grow. And you do amazing stuff. Amazing stuff when you're scared. So take that anxiety that you have and that self-loathing or that self-pity, hate, whatever it is. Take it and convert it into energy. Make something new. Challenge yourself to make something new. Do something that matters, to yourself or something that matters to somebody else. I mean, shit, make a bunch of prepackaged peanut butter and jelly sandwiches if you live in a big city and pass them out to homeless people one day. Go look into the eyes of rock bottom. Go understand and empathize with what that looks like. And be grateful that your life isn't there yet. Be grateful that you have things like a Facebook and the internet to watch this video on. Be thankful that you have a roof over your head. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Some mornings, the only thing I find when I wake up that I can even be grateful for is the fact that I'm breathing air and have eyeballs, okay? Some days are not that awesome in the life of Ashley Lodge, but I'll tell you what, it's always worth the fight. And I would never try to hurt myself or take my own life ever again because it's too important. My life is too important to people who I haven't even met yet, who actually take the time out of their life and their day to look at my website, look on my Facebook, write awesome messages to me that really, guys, thank you, because that keeps me going. And trust me, I'm, if you're a really close personal friend of mine, you hear me when I call you and I have to complain about things because I'm not where I want to be yet. It happens. We all stumble. We all fall. That's how life is. But keep going, man. Keep going. You're doing all right. If you're still here, you're doing all right. And if it's too hard, if life is getting to the point where, you just really need to talk to somebody and you don't feel like anyone is there, there's this awesome number that you can call, and I donate money to these guys every month. So I'd really love for people to actually use it because I'm a big, big supporter of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And their phone number is 1-800-273-8255. They're great. Round the clock, They will help you. They will talk to you. Some of the people there are professionals. Some of the people there are just, people who've gone through it a lot that are just really good at counseling. But I've called them before in the past. They helped me through some really, really, really tough shit. I mean, I'm standing on the edge of a bridge about to jump. Tough times. They'll help you through it. They'll help you through it. Find a friend. Find somebody who can boost you and be positive with you and help you move through shit. Because it's life and it's real and it's hard. It might not get easier, but one thing that my husband always says, that kid's got some awesome wisdom. My husband's a genius, I celebrate that about him. He's so smart. And one of the things he says a lot is, my whole thing on suicide is, well, why not tomorrow? Why not just get done everything that you want to do first and then do it. See if you're still up for it tomorrow. And that should be your mentality. Well, maybe tomorrow. It's like Princess Bride with, the pirate. And he's like, Wesley, I'm going to kill you tomorrow. And he just keeps saying it. Think of it kind of like that. You're the Dread Pirate Roberts. Do that. But don't actually hurt yourself, man, because you're too important. And if you don't think that there's anybody else in the world that loves you, please know that I do. Even if we've never met, even if we only met for a night at an anime convention, or even if you're just a customer of mine and I took your senior photos, which actually, hey, I mean, that means that we're good friends, right? Whoever you are, wherever you came from, however I know you, please do not feel like you're alone. And if you want to message me, I don't care what time of night it is. If I don't get back to you, I'll read your message in the morning. I will answer eventually. If you really, really, really need to talk to somebody or just vent, my inbox is open. Feel free at any time. I know some of us are just internet friends, but I love you guys. Stay cool, stay alive, and be good to yourselves. Have a good night.